think we're ready to get started. As most of you know, but there are some new friends in the house. I'm Mary Pat Higgins. I'm the president and CEO of the Dallas Holocaust and Human Rights Museum, and I am so delighted to welcome you to our Upstander speaker series that has been sponsored by the Funk family. The series tonight is the first program that we have had in person since February of 2020. So I'm a little out of practice here, so bear with me. Just wonderful to see all of you. So I'd like to start by thanking our generous sponsors for this event. Our supporting sponsor is Amazon. Our series sponsor is Susser Bank and Catherine and Sam L. Susser, and our event sponsor is the Brandt Companies, LLC. We are so grateful for your incredible support. Thank you so much. I'd also like to thank our wonderful community partners, Big Brothers Big Sisters, Lone Star, Congregation Anshe Torah, Mosaic Family Services, Temple Shalom, and the Texas Holocaust, Genocide, and Anti-Semitism Advisory Commission. Thank you all for your support and for your partnership. And as always, I'd like to give a warm welcome to our museum members. If you're a member in the house, please wave your hand. Oh, we love you. Thank you. We could not put on programs like this without your support. So thank you for being here with us. Spread the word. We want a room full of members at all of our upcoming events. And also, I'd like to give a warm welcome to our board members who are here. I see a lot of you. Raise your hand if you're a board member, please. I am indebted to you all for all you do to support me in the museum. Thanks so much for being here. If you are not a member, I forgot my sales pitch. If you're not a member, after you hear Marguerite Barankitse tonight, I think you'll be inspired to become a member. So stop by the membership table. And finally, I wanted to take a minute in honor of Veterans Day to recognize everyone who's served in our country. If you're a veteran, could you stand or raise your hand? Anyone here tonight? Okay. My father was a veteran, so today's a special day. And so now it's my pleasure to turn to tonight's program. The Funk Family Upstander Speaker Series is one of the many ways here at the museum we highlight individuals who stand up for the rights of others and combat injustice. True upstanders who show us that the capacity we all have to make a difference. And I know that you'll be inspired by Marguerite Barankitse. She is the ultimate upstander. I'm honored to introduce her. She's a Burundian humanitarian and founder of Maison Shalom, an organization that has cared for tens of thousands of children. In 2016, she was the inaugural laureate for the Aurora Prize for Awakening Humanity. That was a prize that was started by an Armenian man in honor of the Armenian genocide survivors. So it's very special to our museum as well. And it aims to raise public consciousness about atrocities occurring around the world and reward those working to address these major issues in a real and substantial manner. It's a tremendous honor to be the first recipient. Marguerite will be joined on stage tonight by Alain Ravuga, an activist dedicated to building awareness around the current genocidal events in Burundi. Alain is a great friend of the museum. He came to see us back in 2016 and tell us about Maggie and Maison Shalom. And we are honored to have you on the stage tonight, assisting with translation as needed. We might let you speak a little bit, Alain. And so now, also wanted to remind you that we'll have time at the end of the program for questions and answers. You should have gotten a note card and a pencil, so please write down your questions and our staff will come by and pick them up. And if you are joining us virtually, please put your questions in the chat and we'll be sure to answer as many of those as possible. So before we get started, I wanted to share a short video about Marguerite and her work.
At a mass grave in eastern Burundi, Marguerite Barankitse remembers the unthinkable. It happened in 1993 at the Catholic bishop's residence where she worked.
It's very hard.
As ethnic violence exploded across the country, men with machetes invaded and unleashed a nightmare, separating ethnic Hutu people from ethnic Tutsis.
They took off my clothes and then they tied me and they said, "Your punishment that you keep silence, we will kill them in front of you." They began to kill priests, nuns, all the Hutu they know.
When the bloodbath was over, 72 people were dead.
And I stayed alone among those bodies. I don't want to go.
Over the following days, she risked her life to bury the victims.
You can't imagine. 15 years after, I still wondering why. Why?
What do you do after something so horrific? For Maggie, the answer was extraordinary.
I am Christian, and I know that our human vocation is to love. I will try to make new generation Hutu and Tutsi together.
As a war unfolded that would last 12 years and take 300,000 lives, she gathered orphans, dozens at first, then hundreds, then thousands as her own.
I took those children with confidence because I believe that God is God. He will help me.
Maggie established Maison Shalom, the House of Peace, to restore these children. Her belief was that they needed education and love. And despite all they'd lost, a real home. So her children live not in orphanages, but in houses, caring for each other in small groups, living as a family.
They have a future because it's their home. They have, when they leave school, they said, "We go home."
Throughout the war, they lived as a testament to peace. Maggie's children work together in businesses they own and run, including a salon, a tailor and seamstress shop, a mechanics school called the Garage of Angels, where former child soldiers, street children, and war orphans learn a skill and earn a living. Even their teacher is a child of Maison Shalom.
I can't imagine what I would have become because of the war, but everything I am now is thanks to Maison Shalom.
Over the years, Maggie added a library, language classes, computer lessons. And to prove to the children they deserved more than just survival, she built them a cinema and opened a swimming pool.
Shalom was born to say no to the war, to say yes to the love, yes to the life.
With Maggie, Maison Shalom is open to everyone so that healing, even in unspeakable circumstances, can truly take place. Aline's family was killed in the war. When she was only 5, rebel soldiers attacked her with machetes and rocks and left her for dead. Maggie raised Aline, helped her start a business, and nurtured her spirit with the lessons of Maison Shalom.
I can forgive because I was raised with so much love. God forgives my sins, so how can I not forgive those who hurt me?
Reconciliation and forgiveness run deep at Maison Shalom, a place where Albert, a Hutu, and Mediatrice, a Tutsi, can grow up as brother and sister.
God created us to be equal and not to be separated by ethnicity. So at Maison Shalom, we all live as children of God.
One of Maggie's biggest dreams is just now coming true. A new hospital, open to all regardless of their ability to pay. There will be fewer orphans, she says, and a brighter future if mothers are cared for right now. New operating rooms are under construction. A nursing school is almost finished. Ambulance service is available for the first time ever. Maggie encourages all, including mothers living with HIV, to stand up, work hard, and support one another.
I believe in this dignity that God gives us. We want peace. We want love. We believe in that.
Maggie says love has made her an inventor, so she's never married, never confined herself to traditional limits.
Woman must stay home, behind, not in front. And Maggie going in front.
I pray for Maggie, and I thank God for her.
Que Dieu bénisse Maggie.
I wish we had mamas like Maggie all over Burundi.
Most people in Burundi live on less than $1 a day. But Maggie insists it is not a poor country, but rich with promise. Her life is God's, she says. Her work has touched more than 30,000 children.
They rebuilt my heart. They give me hope.
She is the living proof of what one person of faith can do to bring peace and hope to the world.
I know that evil will never take the last word. Never, never. A new generation is coming. I am not a dreamer. No, no, it's real. We are one family, one human family.
Such an honor to be here with you, Maggie. I got to visit with Maggie before all of you got here, and they had to drag me off the stage because I couldn't quit asking questions. So I am excited to be in conversation with you tonight. Maggie, we've just seen this film and seen what an extraordinary person you are, and just gotten a glimpse of some of the amazing things you've done. Tell us about your childhood and how your life before all of this happened. How did you become this person?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you to invite me. It's an honor for me. Thank you. Of course, I was born in a very small village in the east of the country of Burundi, near Tanzania. And a normal life, but something happened when I was little. My father died. I was only 5 years old. My mom was very young, 24 years old. We were 2 kids. My brother was only 1 year old when my father died, but I belong to a big family with many uncles and grandfather. I think I have 2 people in my life who inspired what I am today. My mom, who was very, very kind and who was a deep Catholic woman and pray every morning. We must go to the church, to the mass, since I was a baby. But I have my grandfather who was a patriarch, who was against Belgian people, who taught me what I am today. He always called me and say, don't forget that a country is a mom also. You must sacrifice your life for a country. And my mom was full of tenderness, said to me, you know, you belong to a big family, a noble one, children of God. And when I go to my grandfather, said, forget what your mom taught you. It's a Belgian missionaries. But I admire the two persons. And when I began school, it was not my mom who accompanied me for my primary school. It was a Belgian nun who have this school, and my grandfather accompanied me. And he changed my name. I was not Barankitse, I was Abonimana. He said, no, don't write this name. She's Barankitse, like my son. He changed. And then even for baptism, carte de baptême, I have it's not the same. And I was born on 21st of July. It's a national feast of Belgium. My grandfather said, no, I don't want that you write this date. It's a bad date. Then even to my passport, it's 20 of July, not 21st. You see, then this is my childhood to be a combatant, a resistance against Belgian colonization, and to be like my mom, that I admire so much, to belong to a big family. This is my childhood.
Was your grandfather your father's father?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
So you went on to leave Burundi to study in France, right? And became a teacher.
Yeah.
And then when you were 23, something amazing happened. Tell us about that.
Forgive me for Burundian who are there, because the history of Burundi, we began to kill each other since after the independence. And something happened when I was in secondary school. In 1972, I was teenager, 16 years old. And I saw that nobody speak about the war. My comrade, my friends in school, they lost their fathers. But nobody say that. We were there and say, you know, that she lost her father. Her father is rebel. And one day I asked to my classmate, I said, why? I lost my father, I suffered, but you lost also your father. Why you don't think that I don't have compassion? And one evening I went to ask to a Belgian nun, why you don't say about, why we don't pray for the fathers of Swavis, for our friends? Then I decided to leave the school. I said, this school, in school they didn't teach us compassion, human values. Why? My mother is more happier than all those who had studied. I left the school, but you know, in a patriarchal system, my grandfather asked me, now you decide to leave the school? I said, yes. I said, what? My uncle said, you must return to school. I said, no, I can't return to school where we don't learn human values, what we will become. Then but they make a family meeting. They oblige me to return. I said, no, I will not go. After my mom called me, we live in a small house, no electricity, but we were happy. And my mom called me and said, my daughter, try to obey to your family. Why you don't want to return to school? I say, Mom, you are most a teacher than other teachers. I don't want, I will stay near you. But she said to me, she took, you see, in a very small house, we have no electricity. We have a small lamp, you remember, and they put petrol in that, and she gave me and say, you see, in your country there are so many darkness. You can choose to be this light, but you can't be a light when you stay only near me. Go and study. Then I said, I called my uncles, my aunt, they were praying because my father was polygam. He had six wives. And I said, now, okay, I will return, but I want to become a teacher. Then I decided to go to school, and I became a teacher. But unfortunately, I want to change the history of Burundi because the program were lied. They teach not really the story about Burundian. And I began to fight. Then they put me outside. They say, you are a rebel, you go. And one day, why I was a rebel, I was a teacher, and I saw one child, 12 years old, crying in my classroom. But I stopped to give my course. Yeah. And I called her, I said, Chloe, why are you crying? She said, you can't understand. I said, why? Because you are Tutsi. I said, but I didn't choose to be a Tutsi. But you are Catholic, I am a Protestant, I am a Hutu. I said, but we are one family, we are Burundian. No, you can't understand. I come from the south in Burundi, and I know you don't support those. I said, okay, now you are, tell me why you cry. She said, my mom died. But my father was killed in 1972. Now I have nowhere to go. I said, come, I will adopt you. I will take you. Like my little sister, if you want. No, I want to be your daughter. This has changed my life, but nobody, even my family, can't understand. Then they said, she's a crazy. Yes. Now you are listening, a crazy woman. And they put me outside. I lost my jobs. Then I decided, I said, it's strange. In this country, we are 80% of Christian. How do we kill each other? Then I decided to go in Lourdes, in France, to study Bibles, to understand why in Burundi they continue to kill each other. And to found a solution, because I am a rebel. I can't accept that this situation like that and keep silence and be in indifference. Because the indifference kills. Yes.
So did your studies in France
Bible?
help you understand the Bible?
Yes.
Did it help you understand why the killing was
because
happening?
I understand that when there is a bad situation, we must be prophet. If you see the whole story, I am in a Holocaust museum. I know the Torah. You see Ancien Testament, how to say, it's all the situation for Jewish people, how the prophet, how Moses, for the Red Cross, the Red Sea, and how Miriam, how they fight against all this. And then I decided, I say, okay, now I will go to work with church and to reform the church. You understand? To reform the church. I didn't succeed. But I continue. Yeah. This is, I had understand, nobody can stop the love. Nobody, because it's God who carried the word. You know, in the West countries, you think that you can alone, yes, fight. But you see, you didn't succeed. For us, we succeed because we know who is carried the word. It's why I am full of hope. Nobody can stop me. You know, now I am a criminal in my country. They judge me, but nobody will stop me because I know. With these 3 years studying Bibles, wanting to find a solution for the world, then I came, of course, I didn't succeed in the eyes of people, but in my heart, I am happy. I do what I love.
So you came back from France and continued teaching and adopted 7 more children?
Yes. When I came back, of course, it's so. I went and I was a teacher again, but for a region. But the second government regime, they supprimer the religion course in school. I lost again the job. But I decided to adopt 7 children, 4 Hutu children and 3 Tutsis. I brought them to my mom, and my mom was very kind, and I was there, but unfortunately, because I lost my jobs, I think, why I must always ask a job? I can do myself a job because my grandfather gave me a big land for heritage. I said, why I can go in Switzerland and learn to the farmers how I can transform this village in paradise. Then I went in Switzerland. The children were to my mom, and I came back. But when I returned in my village, the bishop, the Catholic bishop, asked me if I can, because I can speak German and French, and then he asked me if I want to work with him. And for me, I said, yes, I can transform the church inside. And I transformed because, yes.
You're a rebel.
And then the war broke in 1993.
So
yes.
Tell us about what was happening in Burundi in 1993 and the situation between the Hutus and the Tutsis?
Of course, I was living in my village, and this village was a Tutsi village. I told you that my grandfather was polygam, and then many uncles, aunts, and so. And when they killed the president, I live in my village with my 7 children, 4 Hutu and 3 Tutsi children. The Hutu came with machete and they killed the whole family. And then when I tried to explain why they are killing, nobody accepted me. Even the Tutsi said she's a traitor. Yes, traitor. And when I followed the Hutu, they said, we don't know, perhaps she's a spy. Nobody wants me. But I have those 7 children. Then I think I work in a bishop house. I think the bishop compound is a neutral. It's a place for God. Then I went there with those children. But I met my colleague, Hutu and Tutsi and the other neighbors. I said, but we can go to the bishop house. But you know, many Tutsi in Ruyigi were killed, murdered by Hutu. But I said, it's not Hutu who killed, it's the system. Come together. If Hutu come, then you, Hutu, you will protect us. And if Tutsi come to revenge, then we will protect you. And unfortunately, the Tutsi came to ask me, where are the Hutu? Because those Hutu intellectuals, it's the one who touched those Hutu in the village to kill. We must revenge. And I say, but you are so stupid. Why? It's Sunday. And you are all Christian. You want to kill your brothers and sisters. But it's the system. Why you want to die like Cain, who killed his brother Abel? Then they didn't listen to me. They said, you are traitor, we will revenge. They killed your uncles, your aunt, your cousin, and you want to protect them. I said, I can't be a killer. I am a mother. I will not allow you to kill. But unfortunately, you have seen them. They tied me, and then they killed them. But I said to you, I am a Christian and I am a rebel. I said, I have Hutu and Tutsi children. Then I can raise them and create a new generation who will be able to break this cycle of violence. It's why I create Maison Shalom. This Maison Shalom to be for every child, everybody. Mothers and fathers who have nowhere to go. But yes, it was very... What I have seen, those atrocities, I think if I was not a Christian, I would have committed suicide, because 2 days before, I lost my family, biological family. But all those people that I love also came to revenge in front of me. And they became also killers. Then I can't understand why people can be like that. But the answer for me was the love, because nobody can stop the love. It's why I create this Maison Shalom. But I had, yeah.
Oh, tell us about how long after the attack did you create Maison Shalom? How did it happen? You started taking in children and then more children?
I have, I didn't find my 7 children among those bodies because they tired me. After I tried to save children, I paid the money to those young people that I know. I said, don't kill children. And then I went to find the money in the bishop office. And then I said to them, go. And they give me 25 children. And then I hide them in the office of the bishop. And after I tried to find my 7 children, I didn't find them. But because they know the compound of the bishop, they went in the chapel. And when I was crying, say, why? My mom taught me that you God, you are love. But how you can give me such brothers, such criminal brothers? And when I was crying, I hear Chloe, who was with the 6 other children, say, they didn't find us. We are there. Then the first miracle was there. I found my 7 children and the 25 children. And I called them in the chapel. I say, you see now, you are Hutu and Tutsi together. You have a new vocation. You must break this cycle of violence. Like that. I haven't clothes. But I said, where I will go? Because they burned the house, the bishop house. And then one small boy said, Fabrice said, oh, we can go to this German friend. Because he's not Hutu or Tutsi, he can hide us. Then I say, how we will reach his house? He said, you can write in German, I will go. And then I will say that we still in life. Then I took the 25 in the evening, 25 children, and the other 7, and I went to this Martin Novak. He hid me with 32 children. And then we were there, but the following day, because they began, the massacres were transformed in a civil war. Then the following day, all those German cooperators must return in Germany. And they asked me to go with them. I said no, because of my grandfather taught me that a country is a mother. Nobody can abandon his mother when he's suffering. I stay here with those children. I promised to their parents to raise them with love. Then I will not follow you. But nobody wants me. I must hide in this house, belong to this German cooperator, during 7 months. But after, because it was in October, after in April 1994, genocide in Rwanda against Tutsi break. And then all those international NGO brought me Rwandese children to this German cooperative. Then I don't know what to do because I have nothing, no money. But after, because we became 400 children in this small house, I decided then to go to the bishop, Catholic bishop, and knock to his office. I said, don't forget that I was your secretary. and said, what? Because those children are children of God. You must give us a place. I want to take all those children. Then he said, I have nowhere to put all those 400 children. But there was a school, abandoned school. He said, if you want, you can go there. And it's like that. In May, 12th of May 1994, then we moved from the small house belonged to this German coopera, and we went there without nothing.
How did you feed them all this time, Maggie? How did you feed them?
Sometimes I go to steal food. They can put me in jail. But the first, I went, for example, in the mass in the morning, because I walked for my time to the bishop. I know that where there is milk, and then I put milk. Because when I ask nobody, they say, she's a crazy woman. Don't come to, if you want to protect, you must have money. When I went to UNICEF, they said, okay, which is your action plan? I said, love. And they said, okay, go. When I go to the Minister of Interior, ask me, do you have statue? I said, this statue, we are in the war. And nobody, my family said, you are a traitor. Why you bring all those Hutu children and they killed our family? Then, because I believe that if those children are there, Hutu and Tutsi together, and run these children, we can transform this great Rex region in a paradise. This conviction was in my heart. Then I suffer, of course. I have no bed, I have no food, I have no money, no clothes, but I have beautiful treasure. I have love, and love makes us inventor. Then the bishop, of course, when he gave this school, there were no windows because they destroyed that. We put carton, we clean, we sing with children, and I asked them, how we will call this family, this maison, yes, house. And children said, oh, we will call Maison Shalom. I said, oh, again. We have problems with Hutu and Tutsi. Now we will have a problem with Jewish. What do you want? I asked to my Muslim children, do you want that it become Maison Shalom? Yes. And they began to sing, Shalom, Shalom. And I said, oh, mon Dieu, what I will do? And I tried to convince them. I said, but you know, yes, Jesus will give us peace, shalom. I said, Jesus didn't speak Hebrew. He speaks Aramean. I said, oh, it's the same. Then, when I was trying to convict not to call Maison Shalom, the one child write, welcome to Maison Shalom. He went to the street and put the carton, welcome in English, in Kirundi, in German, in French, and then Maison Shalom. This is, it's not me who called the organization, and many people want that I change this name, but it's the house for those children. Right. Why they call Maison Shalom? I accept. It's democratic. I was rebel. My children were rebel. Then it's correct. correct.
They
yeah.
wanted peace.
Yes,
maybe.
they want
They
peace.
want peace.
Yeah.
So we saw in the film what you accomplished with Maison Shalom. I mean, school and training and a hospital and a swimming pool and a theater.
Yes.
What happened with Maison Shalom? How did that come to an end in Burundi?
This is the question because for me, I create this for the future for my mom Burundi. But those, excuse me, those stupid politicians, you see, I fight during so many years. I want peace. I create a big hospital. I create in Burundi, in 5 towns in Burundi, thinking that the politician will understand and have a vision for the future for the children. And in 2014, because this regime of CNDD-FDD, comment? Hein? Yes. Yes. Those politicians began to kill people, children, and the president who died, President Nkurunziza, in 2005, he gave me an award and called me a national mother. Okay. An honor. An honor. And after he gave me a diplomatic passport because I help people even when they were in bush. For me, I said, they are our criminal brothers. We can't revenge. I want peace in my country. Then when they began to kill, I went to meet him personally. I brought all the awards he gave me and the diplomatic passport. I said, you were 2. I said, okay. You said that you are Christian because he was a pastor, he have a Bible. Then I said, do you know what it means to be a Christian? Why you kill? And I said, as a Christian, I said, I don't want to go in hell because of you. Because when I will die and go to see your Peter, because his name was Peter, and the Saint Peter will ask me, Maggie, why you didn't advise my Peter? Then it's for me. As a Christian, I come, I give you back all those passports, and so because I can't accept that you kill. You kill my children. You call me mother, and you are killing my children. Then I give you back. When you will stop to kill, I will come back to take this. Then you understand. They were very angry with me. And then he told, because I have former children of Maison Shalom who were in politics, he called them and said, why your mom is like that? He came in my office and insulted me. And my former children who were in this party, rural party, say, please, try to go out of the country for a moment because what you have said, it can be worse for you. I said, why? You must leave this country because what you do, it's a shame. How you can be so ingrat? What? not ingratitude. Why? Then in 2015, he wants to again to the third mandate, and young people protest, but the police began to kill them. And they killed one small boy, 15 years old, and then I was very angry. I went in TV, I say, how? Why you kill those children? Then they want to kill me. They make a warrant mandate to stop me, and Belgian ambassador hide me for 1 month, but they know that I didn't left the country. They come to the ambassador and say, we need this mother. We want to, we will kill her. Then they are so stupid. I tried to escape. The ambassador said, how you will manage? I transformed my face and I went to the airport. They didn't recognize me. And unfortunately, I was obliged to leave, to flee my country in 2015. And I arrived in Luxembourg. But I continue my fighting to make conferences. Then they decide to destroy Maison Shalom. And then all my children who were in Ruyigi or in Burundi, they were obliged also to flee and went in Rwanda. I was in Luxembourg only for 10 days. I said, I was in a palace. I am a friend of the Queen of Luxembourg. I said to her, a mom never abandoned her children. Then I decided to go in Rwanda, in a refugee camp, to rebuild again. I said to you, nobody can stop the love. Then when journalists asked me, Maggie, now you lost everything. No country, no money. They took all the money, all the bank, they closed, my clothes, because I fled with only handbag, no money. I said to the Belgian journalist, I fled with my treasure because I fled with my love. Maison Shalom is not houses, it's a message that we can live together as brothers and sisters. I will disturb you. I will surprise you. I will rebuild again Maison Shalom. Then I return in Rwanda. And since 2015 now, I am in Rwanda, rebuilt Maison Shalom again, because nobody can stop the love.
I could talk to you all night, and I know the audience could, but we need to save some time for their questions. But everything you have witnessed and endured, I always ask, what gives you hope for the future? I know for you it's your faith, but what else gives you hope that we can work through this hatred and this desire to hurt one another?
Yeah. We have good example, for example, in Rwanda. They had suffered also with the biggest also genocide, but they rebuilt their country. You see, Armenian people also, they rebuilt their country. You rebuilt. wherever you are. And I am a Christian. I know that it's always the love who takes the last word. And I know that even people, they can be criminals, we must help them to see in their heart. If we put this candle, this light, they will see what is wrong. I believe in human being. I believe that human being, if you show the love, il peut se remettre en question. How to say? Se remettre en question.
He can apologize. He can apologize. Or reverse the actions and get better.
Yes.
And we can forgive.
Yes.
Exactly.
For example, I give you an example. I went in jail. Every Sunday I go to visit the prison. And one day, a man called me and say, Maggie, I want to ask you why you love all those criminals. And he said to me, you recognized me? I said, yes. I burned your 2 aunts. I said, can I ask you why? Why you burn my aunts? Because they told us to kill them. I said, somebody can tell you to kill and you accept. You see, the ignorance. And then they tortured him in jail to revenge. But I asked to the responsible of the prison to take this man. And I bring him in hospital. I try to soigner, how to take care of the wounds and give him food. And he asked me, why you want to love me? Because I am your enemy. I said, I believe you are criminal, but you're still my brother. I believe that God created you. We are one human family. And then he looked at me. Your forgiveness give me back my dignity. Now I can believe that I am a human being because of your forgiveness. We must forgive. Because if we continue not to forgive, I don't think so. I am not for impunity. No, the difference. They must pay for what they have done. But we must not keep the hatred in our heart. Because if you keep this, they will kill you first. And after, they will kill the killers. It's why I continue to believe and to raise all those children in this compassion, this forgiveness, this peace building. Without that, there is no future. If there is no forgiveness, there is no future.
I have so many more questions for you, but I'm going to ask some from the audience. So can you tell us, Maggie, what is the situation in Burundi today?
Yes. I told you that my father said that a country is also a mother. We have 2 mothers, biological mother and the country who gives you identity also. But for this moment, I think I will let Ellen explain. But you know that they judge me. I am now in my country. They condemn me a perpetual condemnation because of love only. I don't understand. But we have more than 11,000 young people in jail, arbitrary arrests. They create a militia in Bonerakure who kill in each village. A militia belong to the rural party. We are 500,000 Burundian who are refugees. We are 10 million, 11 million in Burundi, but 500,000 are outside the country. They didn't done nothing. And they sent, even that, we fled the country, but they sent this militia to find us, for example, in a refugee camp in Tanzania, to kill them. Or the human rights defenders are outside the country. Or the journalists. In Rwanda, there are more than 100 independent journalists who are refugees in Rwanda. They killed each day. Each day they killed people in silence. Now they have a new concept to kill one. They don't use. It's like genocide, for example, in Rwanda or during the Second War. Now they do it. They transform. They kill us. They have already killed more than 3,005 opposers. In the opposition. And it's I can say in French, Burundi became like une prison à ciel ouvert. How to say?
Burundi in general is a jail, like everybody's jailed, no freedom, no. Even if everybody's not jailed, but everybody doesn't have the freedom to say or to live freely.
When, for example, I have a family there, my former children who work there, they don't recognize them. They said they use this word in French. Burundi became le silence de mort plane sur tout le Burundi. Le silence de mort.
Nobody is saying anything. You cannot say or criticize, make any comment without encountering some consequences.
And you see, they condemn us. For example, we are 12 defender, human rights defender. We are all condemned for life. And nobody, and what is very strange, nobody speak about this situation. Right. And you forget that we are one human family. A part of humanity is dying. It's a part of this humanity for all of us. Right. And I don't understand why we can die in indifference. This is the situation in Burundi, and impunity continues. Nobody say nothing. The sanction, we ask you, I will ask, I wrote a paper. You can perhaps translate what I have written to call the whole community, the international community, because Burundi became really
I can say a few words about the document she's mentioning. As she said, it's so amazing. She has received more than 40 international awards for the job that she's doing, a humanitarian job for the vulnerable people, without choosing who she's helping. She's helping everybody, Burundian, Congolese, Rwandans, and so on. She has an international recognition, but regardless, a government as Burundi, which government also gave her some acknowledgement and rewards. Today have issued an international arrest warrant, and we wrote that document to ask the international community, at least not to stay in the silence, because it's the irony is how a government who's killing is condemning or trying to arrest somebody who's saving life. This is mainly the message in the document. Yes.
And I became a patriot because I have, for the other, for me, even my passport, Burundian passport, they revoked them. The first day I fled my country, I saw, because I was in Turkey and they stopped me, they said, no. Then I asked universities here in USA, Duke University, Emory, Seattle, they give me honorary degree. But when they condemn me, nobody say nothing. It's strange how people are, and I want to create hope. I am not angry. I will continue because I am citizen of the world. Right. Okay, I can live where I want because I believe in humanity, and on peut humaniser l'humanité. This is what I want. Yes.
I don't know if the translation will be correct, but it's humanizing the humanity. Basically, give back anything you receive freely, and you multiply it by giving back to other people.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Maggie and Elan, what can we do to help? We have several questions asking that, and someone asking, do you take volunteers? But how can we here in Dallas help Maison Shalom in Rwanda and help the raise awareness about Burundi?
You know, the first enemy for humanity is ignorance. What I want, and Alan will explain what we are doing, we want to create a new school. And we invite you, your volunteers. We want to create and to give another concept for education, and to put in those programs the human values, compassion, integrity, dignity, and also because I think we forget that we have the same destiny. How to say? We can't live in indifference. You see what happened also, we have problems in the world. Why we have those problems? Even here, because we discriminate the other, we forget that the difference is, our differences are our richness. Then you can help us to come, and together we can rebuild another sense. Now we create Academy Ubuntu. You can explain what you are doing in Maison Shalom. For example, Alan with the other friends.
Yes, thank you. First, if I may take you in a context, it's a group of Burundian living in the diaspora. And after we saw what the quintessence of the action of Maison Shalom, I don't have any fear or any doubt to say that what she's doing, mark my words, I think she's the only one doing that in the whole Africa. Only last year she put more than 500 students in college. Thousand and thousand refugee young boy and girl in high school, and so on. And after that's education, but the first step was giving the basic need, what to eat, where to sleep, healthcare to those people who were in need. Once you visit a refugee camp, you can understand the level of need. It's that kind of poverty which takes your dignity away. So, as I was mentioning, a group of friends from the diaspora, we decide to bring something else, a little bit more. Yes, they have something to eat. Yes, they have education to better their life, the future. But we think that on the top of that education should also, beside an academic education, we should educate each other about the human value. Simply because if in a country you have these recurring atrocities, somehow, somewhere, we are not looking at each other as human beings. And in our culture, Burundian culture, African culture, we know something, we have fundamental values of humanity. He even has an African name, Ubuntu. So we came back to that concept, the concept of Ubuntu. Desmond Tutu from Africa used that concept to reconcile the population after the war with apartheid in South Africa. Simply, Ubuntu is, I am because you are. So we bring that concept in the refugee camp, implement that education. Not only people will receive the regular education, but we will bring that set of value, dignity, integrity, respect, compassion, love. All that is included in that concept of Ubuntu. So now, right now, we've started in January giving like some modules of skills, people they can learn, things they can use very quick to gain their life in their daily daily life. They can use those skills to gain life, to make money. So, but on one condition, whatever they receive is for free. But we want them to give back to other people. So they cannot be if the other people are not. That's the same concept of Ubuntu. So we just studied that, and later on, that program of Ubuntu, those human value, will be implemented in the education from kindergarten all the way to high school. And it just started, and we think that the life is so hard, in the life of a refugee is so hard. And sometimes because it's hard, people may take some shortcut, but at the same time may jeopardize their future. That's why we come back on that. And while on the other side of the river, the ideology of genocide is being implemented on a daily basis. And whenever they implement that, they teach that, they use those kids to carry out those plans. And on the other side, we're teaching love, compassion, not to be the vectors of hatred, but to be actors of peace and be proactive in the economic system instead of being used for those killings and violence. That is the only way we think that we can break the cycle of violence, because we have come to 4 or 5 cycle of violence since 1962. Wow. Yes.
And you can come. We have a place to welcome you. Yeah, or you can teach our young people, because in a refugee camp we are more than 60,000 people who are there. Among those 68,000 people, 29,000 are children. And then you understand some organization, they are tired because of this Great Rex region. Today it's in Rwanda, after it's Burundi, after it's Congo, and then it's like that. We need this concept, Ubuntu, to break this cycle of violence. But we can't do alone. We need you. Please come, and we are open to learn from you also, and you are, and also to learn from us. We have something also to give to you, because with this concept Ubuntu, it's not only from north to south. Now, have this audacity, I tell to my compatriots, you African, to say every day, we have something to give to you also. Now, from south to north. It's why I came. I came not to beg, but to share the hope for a better world. And it's possible. We can hear this word. We can give what we have. We have enough love in our hearts. And our only mission here is to distribute happiness.
Thank you. You're so inspiring. You have so much to give us, and we have so much to learn. Thank you for being here and coming all the way from Rwanda. Alon, thank you for introducing us to Maggie and for your work to bring awareness to Burundi and to help the children there. And thank you all for being with us tonight. Please keep coming to our programs, keep supporting the museum, and spread the word. We will be posting this on our YouTube channel. So if you know people that need to learn about Maggie, please encourage them to go to the DHHRM YouTube channel so they can see tonight's program.
Yes. I brought this letter that I said it's un cri d'une maman. Good, comment on dit? A cry from a mother.
From a mother, yeah, she's helping for, she's asking for help.
Yes, a special help that you can, for example, go to your government and ask, because I know that USA give some sanction for the responsible for this genocide, because the genocide is coming. I don't want that you say, like in Rwanda, oh, we didn't know that. It's a letter that I wrote, and she's there. She can give you, and you can learn. I can't say about what happened now in Burundi. So many young men who were castrated, young men, and I welcome in Rwanda. Imagine, as a mom, I can't keep silence. Then I wrote this letter, and also some document about what we are doing for a better world, because what I am doing, if it's for humanity, it's not for Burundian or Congolese or Rwandese African, because I believe that we are one human family, and we can shine this hope.
That's right.
Because our vocation is to shine this vocation, this love we have, and to be happy. Because we must be happy, because it's possible to break this silence of indifference, right. Because the indifference also kills.
That's right.
Yeah, thank
Maggie, can we share those documents with the attendees tonight? We could email it to you. So we'll follow up and send those out. And we have hard copies too, but if we could download them and then share them. Thank you all so much for being with us tonight. Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you.